We'll do a little quick review for those who weren't here. I know it's awfully hard to read the screen up there, but we'll do the best we can. The basic presupposition of this class, because of the particular subject matter of the class you're studying, this person, Jesus Christ, and what this class studies in a particular way is the juxtaposition of, you can say it in different ways, but the juxtaposition of the infinite with the finite, the juxtaposition of God with man. It'll take us 300 years to get up to that kind of formulation. But that's what we're dealing with. I mentioned to you last week, St. Anselm said that what theology is, or theology, and Christology is a branch of theology, is fides quaerens intellectum. Does anybody remember how we defined that phrase last week? Fides quaerens intellectum. Everyone's so shy. You remember what fides means? Faith. Quaerens, seeking, and then intellectum. Intellectum. Yeah, obviously intellect. We get the word intellect from the Latin word intellectum. Understanding, reason, intelligence, intelligibility. So that's what this class will do. And today we'll see a little more clearly how faith plays into the intellectual work of asking some of these questions. That was interesting. What we did last week, at this stage I'm sort of glad you can't read the PowerPoint very well. But what we're doing last week and this week is trying to create a three-dimensional view of Jesus, of this person Jesus in the first century. We stole these two categories from linguistics, or the study of words. And the method that we're using is, last week we did a synchronic approach. Sun means with and chronic means time. So it's with time. It's all of these titles that were applied to Jesus in the first century. And we didn't care when they were developed or at what stage they came in the game, when they sort of passed out of favor. But we had these 10 titles, and we just kind of threw them out there and just looked at the semantic range of what the words mean. One of the names is not Ed. Jesus was never called Ed in the New Testament or any documents that we have. And obviously the New Testament documents are our main sources, and we went into some of the reasons why those are our main sources in terms of the document history. Do you remember that we categorized those 10 titles applied to Jesus? And we had 4 categories that we lumped them into just to help sort of categorize them a little bit. Can anyone remember the first category we used? Yeah, titles that applied to Jesus in his earthly work. Suffering servant. And anybody remember any of the other ones? Have your notes with you? Oh yeah, the next category. Okay, we'll jump to the next category. The next category is the future work of Jesus. Certain titles which Jesus seemingly did not want to use for himself, or when they were attached to him, he'd always push it off to a future work. And by future work we meant after his earthly ministry was over. Think of Messiah was a big one. Son of Man. The Son of Man will come. It's a future reference. Good. Lord is another one. The sense of his a kingdom he's claiming is not brought about during the earthly years. Okay, good. What's the third category? You can more or less lump some of the titles given to Jesus. His present work, right? By present we mean contemporary. From the documents we have in the New Testament, it's what he's doing, not now but right now. What he's doing now. And then finally, what's the fourth category that we organized the titles into? Pre-existence. The pre-existence, yeah. Very much from a lot of what we received from the Johannine documents. Now you've noticed the first three categories. I didn't mention this last time, but I thought I would just mention it now. The first three categories refer to what Jesus does. That fourth category starts getting a little strange because it deals with not what he does, but who he is. That's a little bit more where we're going tonight. Okay, tonight we're not doing. We've got basically like a two-dimensional picture with all those 10 titles of Jesus: suffering servant, Messiah, Son of Man, Son of God, high priest, Lord, etc., God. What we're doing tonight is what we call a diachronic approach. Whereas synchronic means time kind of compressed down, dia means across. And so this is across this span of time from roughly the year 30 to about the year, we'll say up to about 100, just to make sure we cover it. So what we're going to look at tonight is how those words get used and to hopefully bring more of a three-dimensional picture into it. Okay?